So AI is going to take your job.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
And the average person is left wondering how in the hell they're gonna make any money.
How? Hold on, bro. How?
We're told there might be universal basic income. We're told there might be universal high income. But the issue with that is humans are inherently competitive. We're always gonna want more than the person next to us and more than the person next to them.
It's the biggest piece of dog shit.
But regardless of what happens, the way I see it, there will still be 3 ways that people make money once AI completely takes over. Now, way number 1 is the way people will get the most rich, and is actually the same way that people get the most rich today. Way number 2 is the way that the average normal person is gonna be able to put in a little bit of effort, a little bit of thought, and make a little bit more than what their universal basic income or whatever basic income they have is. And way number 3 is actually the most important because it is the way of making money that will also make sure that tech companies do not gain total control over the population.
Nice job, team.
So let's get into it. So as I said before, way number 1 for making the most money, period. Well, that's getting into business. That's starting a business. And when AI completely takes over, well, there's still gonna be things that need to be created through thought processes made by humans, through the desires of humans, because AI is trained based off of our information input. So once we develop the desire and the thought process it can take it from there. But we're still gonna have to provide that spark. And this is the opportunity where people will still have the ability to start companies and businesses and thrive. Well, because they're gonna want to start those endeavors because 1, they can profit off of it, and 2, it will give them fulfillment and meaning in life. Now, it's also important to mention that people will have more and more time because they're not spending time on some boring job because AI took that over. And many people see this as concerning because they won't have that income, but we're gonna find a way to supplement that. And when you're focusing more on your own time, well, you're finding ways that please yourself and give you fulfillment.
I'm gonna come.
So this can be a business related to a hobby, great. But what I see as crucial and where there will be an even larger gap to be filled in terms of business is experiences. If we have more time, humans will be able to actually live. And that should be an exciting statement. Now, for the doomsayers out there, I know they just worry about everything. They say everything is bad. They find a bad way to frame it. And you are crucial to this issue because there will be issues along the way. There will be difficulties to overcome, and you calling out the dangers is a good thing. So thank you. But when people have more time, they'll want to experience things. And this will be a huge market for people to adopt businesses and provide experiences to people. Now, this won't just be related to travel, but again, can be tied to things you enjoy, such as a hobby.
You serious?
And throughout that, you can provide beneficial experiences to people, therefore giving yourself more monetary income as well as fulfillment, right? Because this is another concern, is that we will have a lack of fulfillment because we won't be providing a service to our community that we now see as somewhat beneficial, right? If you're a painter or a plumber, you feel like you provide something. But what if you're a plumber that really loved chess and just you always wanted to play chess? Well, now you just get to become incredible at chess. And now you can set up experience-based endeavors for people to involve themselves in chess competitions or something along those lines that you can profit off of and share your passion with the world. And you actually find yourself to be happier, enjoy life more, spend more time with your family, and enjoy yourself. Now, where I also see this as crucial is, we'll just say local, because I personally still like to go to restaurants that are owned by local people, local grocery stores, and give back to my community in that way and support people that are doing things the right way. And this will give people the time to do things they actually enjoy through local businesses. Now, maybe that won't be as profitable as a tech company. And the word maybe there is a complete joke because obviously it won't. But they can find fulfillment and everything can be more streamlined through AI for the business startup. because that's just the way it is. And they get to actually focus on what they enjoy, and people will have more time and income to spend on local businesses, right? Right now, if people don't go to their local grocery store or go out to restaurants that are a little more pricey because it's a mom and pop shop and they got to make sure they're making a profit, well, it's because usually of money. And me personally, I would rather not benefit the large corporation if I have the opportunity to benefit someone that puts their livelihood into it and really puts in the effort to make that a beneficial place for me to spend my money. So this will be massive opportunity, not only for fulfillment, local growth, economic growth, but for making sure that as a whole, people are sustained and find meaning in their life. Now, number 2, this is going to be for just the everyday person. And some people might actually hate this because they'll find it somewhat toxic. They'll find that the way things have been going, they absolutely hate. But maybe it'll provide us with some sort of ease down the line once things have adapted and evolved. And this is content. Now, when you think about every single person becoming a YouTuber, every single person having a TikTok, you get a little sick to your stomach. And I understand, okay? But it seems like people are doing that nowadays regardless. So, oh well, let's get it out of the picture. What I'm saying here is ideas are going to be monetized. And when people are spending more time on things they enjoy, they spend more time educating themselves on things they enjoy. Once they do that, they like to share those ideas. The better an idea, the better the content, the more the money. And when people begin to spend their time, and maybe a little bit of their own income, beginning to produce things for other people, well, they can get rewarded for it. And this will be its entire own ecosystem of profitability off of ideas and sharing of information. Now, this might seem concerning because we already deal with misinformation. We deal with toxic content. We deal with content that is detrimental to our society. But when we steer more towards fulfillment, enjoyment, and growth as humanity, well, maybe we can get out of the current cycle we're in, right? Because a lot of the toxic content is based off of using that conflict and rage bait to focus on the harm in our society that is centered around humans' depression, anxiety, and financial struggles. If we don't have the financial struggle and we're able to share and communicate and elaborate, we're not going to completely get rid of the problem, but it will evolve and adapt. And this is where this right here is going to be crucial. Now, what I would like to say there is that it's concerning because once the whole of humanity relies or hopes for a certain amount of income from their content, we're left in an even worse position than we are today, with media companies and tech companies having control over distribution of money and ideas. And that is concerning. But that is where I get into number 3. Also, as a subsect, friend of the show, Tim Dillon, usually says that once AI takes over, there will only be a few jobs left. You'll either own a tech company, you'll be a podcaster, or you'll have to get into venture capital. And while Tim Dillon is insanely sarcastic almost 90% of the time, his words carry a lot of truth. Now, what is number 3? Number 3, yep, you might have guessed it. It's invest. Now, okay, many people are like, I don't work on Wall Street, I don't want to invest. You might just have your 401k and that's it. Cool. But you're gonna have possibly some extra money. You're gonna be wondering, how am I gonna get a leg up on Steve that lives next door? He just bought that brand new Mercedes and a brand new truck with his universal high income, and I want to be better than him. How am I going to do that? Well, that's when you start to do things with your money that aren't just a waste like a truck or a Mercedes. Now, when we are talking in terms of large corporations, there is going to have to be a way that the population as a whole has some kind of say and establishment in these corporations to not allow them to have control. And this is where shareholder value is going to be important. Now, right now, when you look at the makeup of investors and shareholders in these companies. It's large hedge funds, it's people with massive wealth, and then it's a very small percentage of the population. A very small percentage, less than half, I believe, check that statistic please and provide it down in the comments, actually invests today. And if that number is divided into normal population and then massive hedge funds and massive wealth, well then that number of actual people is very, very small. So when we get to a stage where media companies are even more powerful than they are today, I know, scary thought, it is going to be important that there is shareholder value in the population, because as we have seen with this current Warner Brothers acquisition between Netflix and Paramount Skydance, companies listen to their shareholders. And when the population actually has some kind of percentage of control over that company, that's when public sentiment can actually influence these companies' decisions. So therefore, a company will be harmed if they carry out insufficient or harmful actions against the population. And this is crucial because we cannot allow large tech companies to completely take over control. And this is where those doomsayers will agree with me, hopefully, because I'm sure they are concerned about that. These are the 3 ways that you will 100% be able to still make profit and get rich and enjoy your life and have fulfillment, spend time with your family once AI takes over. So no longer do we have to look at this as a bad thing. We can look at it as, okay, there is some freedom on the horizon. Yes, there will be concerns, there will be difficulties, and there will still be people that have massive pain and struggle in their life because comfort is tempting. But when we start to address these issues, we can communicate beneficially through ideas, profit as a community, and share them and help build each other up. We can start to build businesses and companies that benefit the people and communities around us. And then we can make sure that as a whole, we have the capability of making sure that governments and tech companies do not have complete control over ourselves. So, I look forward to the future. I hope you do as well. I'll see you all tomorrow.
Oh, hi, Mark.
It's payback time.